afterwards. And this monk told me a story. The story goes like this. Raja Janak Raja, one day he was asleep, very peacefully sleeping, and suddenly the sentry came running and said, I'll use a mixture of Hindi and English, but I'll translate into English also, because the story was told to me in Hindi. Maharaj ji, uthiye, get up, what happened? The enemy has attacked, we must fight a war. So Janak Raja immediately got up, summoned his generals and his soldiers, and he went off to battle, put on his armor and sword and everything, took his sword and everything and went off to battle. And there was a fierce battle in which Janak Raja was defeated. He was wounded, he was captured by the enemy, dragged before the enemy king, and the enemy king said, Tumhara rajya ab hamara rajya hai. I have captured your kingdom. Now I will not kill you because you are a king, I will exile you. You get out of this kingdom, it's mine now. What could poor Janak Raja do? He was tired and exhausted and bleeding and depressed. Somehow he started walking, and people in what was his own capital earlier, they refused to give him water or food because they were afraid. They said, the new king is very cruel. If they know we have helped you, he will punish us. After walking for 2 days, he came to the border of his kingdom. Then he crossed the border to the next kingdom, and he found food was being served to poor people, beggars. So there was a long line, and I think they were serving rice or khichdi or something, in a big handa was there. So he joined that line, and as he advanced in the queue, when he came up to the place where it was being served, at that time it was finished, no more food. And he could not take it anymore, he was feeling terribly depressed and tired and exhausted and in pain. And the person who was giving food, he said, just this starch, which is lying at the bottom of the handa, that is there, I'll give it to you if you want it. He said, okay, give me that. And he gave him a bowl, filled that starch in there, and gave it to him. Before he could lift it, trembling to his lips, a kite, cheel, was circling up there. It dived and hit that bowl, knocked it out of his hands, and that bowl went rolling in the dust, and whatever was there was spilled in the dust, and Janak Raja could not take it anymore. He was so overcome with misery and sadness, he fell down on the ground. Ha-ha-kar karte hue, as he said. The sadhu, ha-ha-kar karte hue. Ha-ha-kar in Sanskrit, ha-ha-kar, Hindi ha-ha-kar, not English ha-ha. So it means just the opposite. And when he was crying, alas, suddenly he heard a voice, Maharaj ji, kya hua? What happened, sir? And he woke up, his chest pounding, covered in sweat, sitting on the bed. And the sentry has come. Maharaj, you shouted. What happened? So it was a dream. The whole thing was a dream, a nightmare. Nothing has happened. But because Janak Raja was he had a very analytical mind. So he looked up and he said, Wo sach ya ye sach? Is that true or is this true? Is that dream true or is this waking world, is it true? Wo sach ya ye sach? Sentry was taken aback. What is this? He called the minister. Sir, what is wrong? Wo sach ya ye sach? He called the queen. The queen thought, this old man, what has happened to you? His wife came, what happened to you? Wo sach ya ye sach? There's only one thing he's saying. Wo sach ya ye sach? Nobody could understand this. Next day in the morning, in the marketplace, it's already big problems. People are talking in hush-hush. And Ashtavakra Muni, the great Jnani, he's walking, he has come to the city, and he heard, this is what is happening. He was a Jnani, so he knew what has happened. He decided, I will go and visit Janak Raja. And he went to the court, and he asked Janak Raja, kaise hain? Maharaj ji, how are you? And Raja said, wo sach hai, ye sach. That's what he's doing all day, sitting in the court, surrounded by the queen and the ministers and the army and the generals and everything. And I'm sort of imagining, this is not part of the story, but I'm imagining, the officers coming with files, please sign. Wo sach ya ye sach. No work is getting done. When he said this to Ashtavakra Muni, same thing. Wo sach ya ye sach. Now Ashtavakra Muni knows what he's referring to. So he said, Janak Raja, when you were rolling in the dust, bleeding, tired, defeated, depressed, crying on that ground, What he is referring to only Janak Raja knows, and he knows. Nobody else understands. What is this defeat and all this? At that time, was all this there? Your power, your wealth, your queen, your generals, your minister, all these things were there or not? Janak Raja said no. None of this was there. Only defeat and depression and sadness and misery. And now you're sitting here in the court, surrounded by your courtiers and all this power and wealth. That defeat, that depression, those wounds, that terrible situation, is it here? The king said, no, it's not here. Na, yahan to nahi hai wo. Then Ashtavakra Muni said, to Raja, na ye sach, na wo sach. Neither this is true, nor that is true. This was not there in that terrible dream. And today you are in this situation, you are calling it a dream, that is not here. Then Janak Raja was shocked. The next question which would come to all of us, he's saying, to kuch bhi sach nahi, is nothing true then? Then the Muni said, jab wo aap wahan par the, on that battlefield, on that place where you were rolling in the dust, defeated, crying, were you there or not? Tab wahan aap the ya nahi? Did you see that or not? Yes, I was there. I saw that. That may be false, but I have experienced it. It may be false. I woke up and I say it is false, but I have experienced it. Or idhar up, where you are now sitting in the court, idhar bhi aap hai ki nahi? Are you sitting here and experiencing this or not? He says, yes, I am experiencing it. To Raja, na ye sach, na wo sach, but tum hi sach. Neither that is true, nor this is true, but you, the witness of both situations. You alone are the truth. This is a story. The rest of the lecture